Most people are just using Claude Code as a coding assistant because, after all, that's what it was designed for. But it's actually so much more powerful because with these three upgrades, I was able to turn it into a supercharged assistant that is primed to make me more money. And as a result, I was able to double my income last month. So in this video, I'm going to show you the 1% of Claude Code that actually makes you money. And the last one is going to supercharge everything else to make it go even faster. The first upgrade is going to be about buying back your time. McKinsey actually did a study that showed that there's an average of 1.8 hours per day that each person is completely wasting on looking up data, doing repeatable tasks, things that aren't actually their job that moves a business forward. And if you take that for a full week, that's 9 hours a week of just completely wasted time. Let's just say you're paying that person $50 an hour. That would equate to $450 per week that's being completely wasted. And that's just per person. Think about every single person that exists on your team or in your company. And that's not even mentioning the opportunity cost of what they could be doing with that time instead of these repetitive tasks. So you have their actual hourly rate that's being wasted, as well as the opportunity cost of what they could be doing. Now imagine if each person was using Claude Code as an AI assistant to eliminate that time, allowing them to focus on what actually matters. The problem with Claude Code out of the box is that it is a fresh blank slate every single time you open up a new chat. It doesn't have any context, doesn't have any memory, it doesn't know how to do anything that you actually need it to do. And you're pretty much starting from zero every time. So it's like you're getting a new employee that's super talented, but doesn't actually know how to do the work that your business needs. And you have to train them on this every single time you start a new chat. And the trick for this is using a plugin within Claude Code. And if you don't know what a plugin is, it is a combination of different features within Claude Code. So think about skills and think about connectors, and you can even do agents as well. Now, if you don't know what skills are repeatable workflows. And think of it sort of like an SOP or a standard operating procedure of a specific workflow that you need to do. And the connectors tell Claude exactly how to interact with all of your external data and all your different platforms and SaaS products that you actually use. So instead of just bringing on a completely fresh employee every time, it's like bringing on an employee who already has the instruction manual of how your company operates. What I recommend is creating a plugin that contains a number of skills and connectors that have to do with your business. I created a free plugin that you can download in the description below that has 5 different tasks for common skills that need to be done. The first 2 are going to help you come up with ideas that you can monetize and actually give you a step-by-step plan on how to do it. So let's hop into Claude Code and I could actually show you how to use this. You download the plugin from the link in the description. All you have to do is go to Claude Code and find the plus sign down here and go to plugins and add plugin. In this personal section, you'll see that there is a plus sign all the way over here. So if you click on that, you can upload a plugin and then just drag in that zip file. Click upload and you'll see pretty quickly it will be added here for you to use. Under the code section in local uploads, you'll see the Sidekick plugin that we just uploaded. So if we go into here, we'll see that there's 5 skills involved, including the first 2 that I mentioned before, the idea validator and the GTM planner, as well as 3 others for converting meetings into actionable next steps, generating proposals for your business, and creating a weekly report that you can use for productivity purposes. Let's actually run some of these to try them out. So first off, I'm going to use the idea validator. So back in the plugin section, the Sidekick, we'll click on idea validator and run that. So now it's going to ask us 3 questions. What is the idea? Who is it for? And how does it make money? So let's say I want to run cold outbound email campaigns for non-SaaS companies, and it'll make money by them paying me for every lead that I bring them. The idea validator has a devil's advocate who's going to go very deep into some problems that you could have with the idea and coming up with ways that you can improve it to have a fully fleshed out idea. It's really questioning you on the idea, so it makes you think about what's needed and why you're doing what you're doing. It asked me 2 questions here. So we'll say, non-SaaS companies are struggling with this because they don't have the same funding that SaaS companies do, and they're mostly relying on referrals. And for the second one, it's asking if I've talked to any non-SaaS business owners about this. Yes, I've actually worked with one before, and they needed more leads and think that cold outbound email could be a good idea to fix it. And let's run that. All right, so it's really pushing back on this idea, which is a good thing, right? We want someone that we can bounce ideas off of to really get to the root of what's good, what's bad, instead of Claude just being a yes man and telling you, oh, everything you're saying is a great idea, go for it. And then you spend hours or weeks or months building something just to get no one to actually pay for it. So we're going to say it is a small to medium sized business that hosts events. They paid me for just the list building activities, but they have someone internally who's running their outbound email campaigns. All right, so now it's pushing back on the actual business model of pay per lead. So we're going to say they actually paid me a monthly retainer fee just to do the list building activities that were agreed upon to begin with. I just had the idea to go with pay per lead for the future because I feel like it's lower risk for the person I'd be working with. So to ask me a couple more questions, I'm going to fill this out and get to the end result and show you what it says. I just finished this lengthy conversation with Claude Code where it went through 5 rounds of investigation to really understand if this is a good option for me to go into, which is good because I don't want to go into something and then find out months down the line that it's not a good idea. So I ended up saying this is a conditional offer. It's worth pursuing, but just be careful about it. And it's saying that there's a couple of risks here, that it's unproven in this industry, guarantees are dangerous if I don't get results, and that I never actually chose a specific niche. So it's giving me a couple next steps here just to pilot it, make sure that it works for the niche, and then dig into what's actually working by tracking everything. We're going to tie this right into the next skill here, which is the GTM planner, which is going to give us a strategy to actually go to market with this idea. Claude gave us a 6-section go-to-market plan going through what the ideal customer persona should be for this. Then it's going to tell us exactly what our positioning is going to be, what our messaging is going to be, how to handle different objections. Gives us a strategy of what channels we should be doing outreach for. So it's saying cold outbound, LinkedIn outbound, and then using referrals and partnerships. Next, it's the first 30 days and what that sequence will look like to launch this. And then it goes into the milestones that we want to be hitting within the first 90 days. And lastly, finishes with our top 3 risks. Time isn't the only thing that's being wasted here, and this next upgrade is going to tackle another problem that's silently bleeding money. Have you ever noticed that the longer you're working with Claude in a single session, that it starts giving you worse and worse results? That isn't just a coincidence. It's actually a very well-researched issue within AI responses. You see, the longer you're working with an LLM, the more information it keeps getting fed, and it needs to store all of that within a context window. And the problem becomes when the context window is so full that the problem that you're actually trying to get to starts to become lost, especially as you start doing things that reach out to maybe a web search or another data source, and you realize it's not actually what you wanted. And now all of that is within your context. This is the phenomenon that's called context poisoning. This is when all of this irrelevant information gets into the context window and it muddies the output. Google DeepMind actually did an analysis of this and found that the average drop in result of the LLMs was 39% when the context was poisoned. It's like if you were watching TikToks all day, filling up your brains with all this random information, and then immediately after you had to go hop on a call with your team and do a presentation for your boss. Your brain is gonna have to sift through all that random information just to find something that's relevant to the conversation, which is much less effective than if you were to stay completely focused on the subject from the start. It's not just humans that act like this. AI does the same thing with context poisoning. Obviously, we don't want Claude to be doing this when we're asking it questions about things that are directly related to our business and helping us turn more profit. Luckily, there are some ways to get around this. I'm going to show you exactly how in Claude Code you can leverage the context and compact commands to empty out that random junk in your context to give you very clear and concise results to get you the answers that you're looking for. I have this conversation here that I was using to scrape companies that I want to target for my business. And Claude is great at doing this because it can go into the web, search up companies, give you the results, and then you can use that to find people at that company and then do some outreach to them. So Claude is great at doing that. It does take a lot of context to be doing these search, especially if you're searching through multiple different companies. Web searches are scraping the entire HTML of the page, so it ends up using a ton of context. So you can see how long this conversation is. When we go down and check the context, we can use a command called /context. And if you run that in Claude Code, it'll show you the actual breakdown exactly of what's being used in your context. So you can see here, it's a 200,000 token context window. I've already used 102,000 of that, so 51%. And you can see the breakdown here. We have the messages, the skills, the system prompt, MCP tools, and it just gets less and less as you go down. But the highest one right here is the messages. And that's actually where the issue comes because earlier in the conversation, I was targeting all of these companies. But the problem is that I wanted to exclude SaaS companies, but I forgot to say that. I think if we search up SaaS here, if we search up SaaS here, we can see initially I was saying to do SaaS and non SaaS companies, but I actually don't want to do SaaS at all. So that's going to be an issue, right? Because that's all flooding the context right now and poisons the results. So how do we, one, decrease the amount of information that's in the context window so that we get much clearer responses and it's not as muddied, but two, remove the information that's irrelevant to what we want, the things that are outside and could be poisoning the context. So in this situation, that would be things that are related to SaaS. So what I'll do for this is do /compact, which is a built-in Claude command. And then you can see here that it actually says add in an optional custom summarization instruction that we could tell Claude how to compact the conversation. So we'll say, leave out any information about scraping for SaaS companies. We don't want any of these. So we'll run that and it will go through the actual context. It'll go through the messages and it will take out the things that relate to what we said here in the message, pull out all of that SaaS information, and then compact the conversation down in size to the most important amount so we have lower tokens in the window. You can see that the compact just finished and it finished the conversation. It said it saved 53, almost 54,000 tokens. So I ran context again. I think it was a little bit of a delay because it showed to go up for a second. But after that, when I ran it, it actually went down to 54,000 tokens from that initial 102,000 that we had. And we could see the biggest thing was that the messages decreased by a ton. So while up here, the messages were 50,000 tokens by themselves, taking up a quarter of the context window. Down here, the messages got compacted to 2.3K. So a lot less messages in there to begin with, while also taking out the things that are related to SaaS that we actually didn't want to account for anymore that was causing context poisoning. This is something that directly impacts the bottom line. If Claude is giving me the wrong people, then I'm going to reach out to the wrong people who don't need my service. And in turn, I'm not going to be able to make any sales based off of that. So you can see very quickly how having poisoned context can negatively impact how efficiently you're able to work and how your business is able to perform. Even with streamlined workflows and honest answers, there's still one hard cap on how much you're able to make, and that is you. Think about what happens every time you're trying to do something by having a conversation with Claude. You ask Claude a question, it responds, you have to review the response, and then you get back to it with any adjustments or next steps. This is all a single sequence going message by message, and there's one throughput that goes through all of this, and that is that you are deeply involved in the process. So it's not even a Claude or an AI limitation problem, it's a workflow problem of you with using Claude. Now imagine instead of you going back and forth with Claude, you had a whole team of agents doing this process for you on repeat for different parts of the task that you're trying to accomplish. Anthropic's own engineering team actually tested this by running multiple parallel sub-agents to complete a task versus a single agent that was doing the same task. What's crazy is that the multi-agent systems outperformed the single agent, which was running Anthropic's best model in Opus, by the way, by 90.2% on their internal research evaluations. That's not a small number, and as the task becomes longer and more complex, that 90% equates to even longer time. And then think about running this for all the different workflows that are using AI within your business right now. Let's talk about how subagents actually work. Each subagent is like its own Claude instance. It has its own clean context, and it works on one part of the problem simultaneously with all the other subagents. It then compiles the results with the other subagents and gives it to an orchestrator agent that's telling it exactly what to do and what are the different tasks that break up the main task that you want. That handles doing things a lot faster by handing off the subagents, but how do we get Claude to go through this entire task completely on its own? And that's where we use a command called /goal. And with /goal, you give Claude a specific finish line and a condition that it needs to meet in order to say that the goal is finished. And Claude will work on a loop turn after turn until that's complete. And then at the very end, there's a small haiku model that checks to make sure that the condition is met in order to finish the task. So you just set it, you walk away, Claude is running with subagents to complete your goal for you, and you come back when it is finished. Within Claude Code, we're going to run this prompt here, which is using /goal, there we go, to find prospects for me from private equity acquired non-SaaS service companies for our cold outbound email lead generation offer that we discovered earlier. So it's going to find the companies, their acquisition date, their websites, a summary of what they do. And we're explicitly saying to use parallel subagents to search for them across different verticals. So we're saying healthcare, facilities, logistics, etc. So let's run this and we'll let Claude work. Claude just finished, and you can see here that it shows a goal that was set, and then it ran 4 parallel agents for me to do this research for each vertical. And we could actually see the threads for each of them, which is pretty cool here. But in the end, it ended up giving me a list of exactly what I needed. It gave me 12 of the companies. I set 10 here because I said at least 10 here. But you could set this to more, right? But this gives me a starting point to go after for my service. So it gave me multiple different ones here with their website, a summary, who acquired them and when they were acquired. So yeah, this is perfect. Imagine running this for hundreds or thousands of companies to get leads for your business completely on autopilot while you can walk away and do other things. Now that we've gone through all 3 upgrades, you should be able to 1, run your workflows completely on repeat without having to type in your instructions every time. 2, make sure that you're only getting the best responses out of Claude Code instead of dealing with context poisoning. And 3 is getting out of your own way and letting Claude Code handle these tasks on its own until it's able to complete the task without you even having to be there. All 3 of these compound together, and that is the 1% of Claude Code that most people aren't using that can make you money right now. One of the things we talked about today is using plugins. And while building your own plugins is great for custom workflows, Claude actually released one out of the box that covers some of the most common tasks within small businesses, like accounting, marketing, productivity, and more. If you want to learn how to use the Claude for Small Business plugin, then go ahead and watch this video here.